in the field. He's a past champion here, 6-time winner, a U.S. Open champion as well. But now he has business cards that says Player Advisory Council Chair. He is Lucas Glover. Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
How you feeling?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah, got up early just to come see you.
I appreciate it. You're not playing until this afternoon. You know, I know how much this championship, you got a lot of friends who are members at this club. Used to stay with one off the 15th fairway. Did you ever catch anything in that lake there that the players have to deal with on 14, 15, 16, and 17?
Yeah, I've caught a few out of that pond.
Really?
Yeah, a lake
what,
now.
2-3 pounds? I mean,
a little bigger.
A little bigger.
I'll let the Davies boys confirm that, but
all right, very good.
It's pretty good size.
You know, when you won here, I had the good fortune of playing in the Pro-Am with you the next year.
Yep.
We had the high noon tee time. I'm not built for that. Too high profile for me. But what do you remember about that win? There are things, I want you to give me reflections on that win, which meant a lot. Every win means a ton because it's such an elusive thing to do. What do you remember about winning that tournament right down here?
Yeah, making a lot of putts for starters, but I think the longest lasting memory would be the playoff with Jonathan, my college teammate for 3 years and still a close friend. And I was actually played the back nine yesterday and was talking about it and had one of the worst drives I've ever hit up left of the creek and got a good break. And but yeah, him making that putt in regulation and then the playoff with him, that'll be my lasting memory from him just because we're so close.
No doubt. Couple things. The optics. One, he was wearing the hottest pink pants ever worn on the PGA Tour, and he could rock it.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the putt he made. I was talking about 18, and you give me your view of what the look is like, because you see it, and people who watch it on television go, well, you know, the creek's running down the left-hand side. It almost feels like it's bisecting the fairway because of the fairway bunker on the right, so it kind of chokes in right in your driving zone. You hit it left of the creek. You had a wide stance. You got it to the back of the green. What does that look like when you're standing back in that chute on 18?
It's one of those, if you were at ground level, it might not look as intimidating, but the fact that you're 40, 50 feet above the fairway, you can see all the trouble. And I think what's kind of misleading at home is all right, just don't hit it in the water. Okay, well, if you miss right, you're not getting to the green in two. You're either in the bunker and you got to be in the back of it to even have a chance to get there, and that's 5-iron, no fun. And if you're right of the bunker or past the bunker right, you're blocked out by the trees. I think that's a little bit misleading just from the camera angles, but obviously the creek being there forces you to the right. Yeah, that'll be a heck of a test. First part of the week, wind's going to turn around out of the north a little bit, and 18's going to play long, and the greens are firm and fast. So yeah, it'll be a good watch this week.
And what's interesting is that means at 17, 16 as well. I think it's advantageous on 16, obviously, for it to be down. 17, I'm not so sure, because I was saying yesterday, it's one of the few greens that the back half of the green is running away from you, and it's running away toward the water that wraps around the back. The other thing that I remember, two other things about that week and that day. First of all, the beard was stout.
Yes.
That you had then.
Yeah,
you look like a setup guy for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. No fastball though.
No,
yeah.
And then the other thing was, how about the par putt you made in regulation? Because you were on the back of the green. That had at least 8 inches of break left to right. That was a grown-up make.
Yeah,
right
that
there.
was good. That was good. I made a lot of putts that week, and the hole looked like a bucket. I'm not sure why. I didn't hit it like myself. I just made a lot of putts, and I think statistically, it was one of the of that year. It was one of the worst ball striking tournaments for a winner. Somebody told me years later of all of 2011. So, not really my MO as a golfer to hit it kind of average and make everything. But that week it worked. But yeah, downhill left to right. The iconic front left hole location at Quail, everybody knows that breaks a lot, and to make that when I had to, was pretty gratifying. I actually told the story yesterday. It was funny. On Tuesday of that week, we had sold a caddy for a day thing at our fundraiser for Clemson Golf, the Tiger Golf Gathering, and so we had a 2-on-2 match. Charles Warren, Jonathan, myself, and I think maybe Matt Hendricks was with us. So we had 4 guest caddies, so we played a little match, and oddly enough, the pin for some reason on that Tuesday was where it was on Sunday.
Wow.
Not sure why. And Jonathan made pretty much the same putt on Tuesday to tie our whole match. So I was sitting underneath with Montana Thompson in the scoring area, and he goes, "What do you think?" I go, "Well, he made it on Tuesday. He's going to make it now." And sure enough, he did.
He really did.
Yeah, so I was talking about that a little bit yesterday. But, yeah, I putted probably the best putting week of my life outside of maybe Greensboro, Memphis a couple years ago was here in 11 for sure.
Let me ask you a few bigger picture items because I mentioned the whole Player Advisory Council. You know, you were asked to do this a lot, and you declined every single time. And I know you've talked about this, but just to kind of revisit this, why did you feel like it was the right time for you to engage at the level you are now?
I think just maturity, being 46 and on the tail end of my career out here, and I just got pushed to do it because of all the different perspectives that I've managed to have, from winning a major to losing my card. I've kind of done it all out here and seen the tour from every perspective: good, tough, easy, grinding, journeyman pro, trying to get it back, all the things. And I think that's what guys appreciate about me and my voice and my perspective, is that I kind of get it from every side, not just the top, or not just the guy always, you know, trying to get an edge or trying to get in an extra tournament or what have you. So I think that, and just with the maturity and understanding that I'm to the point where I can maybe help guide the younger guys, or the younger guys on the pack, or just guys that don't really understand the business side, which I'm learning a lot about too, because
sure.
I've never done this. But it's been very interesting to learn and talk, and you know, I'll go on the board in 27, so I got a lot to learn this year, but I'm excited about it. And you know, I'm 10 times I've been voted on the pack by my peers, and I figured, you know, this is probably about the right time to do it, and just try to speak for them a little bit going forward.
Curious people are good listeners, and I know you are. So far, like you said, this is an ongoing process. Whether you had all the perceived or real turbulence that's going on in the men's game right now or not, there's always things that are changing. Is there anything that you've learned in the last 6 months that was illuminating to you in particular?
Just how difficult this process has been for the Future Competition Committee, for the board, for the player directors on the board. The time, the effort, the energy that they have spent to try to better the PGA Tour in very short order. 2028 is when we're, you know, hoping to roll this out. And I had no idea the commitment that those guys had put in, the time, like I said, the time, the effort, the energy. And, you know, time can be short out here for guys, especially in the prime of their careers. You know, Patrick Cantlay, and I mean, he plays a lot and plays a lot of good golf. And, I mean, he's every meeting. Tiger Woods, every meeting. All the guys. Maverick McNeely, prime of his career. And that was another part of why I wanted to do what I'm trying to do now is, you know, I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. I appreciate what those guys are doing. And let's be honest, I'm going to have more time than them going forward. I can't hit as many balls on the range anymore. So, but, you know, I appreciate now so much more what Charlie Hoffman and Jordan Spieth and Rory, when he was on the board, and those guys did when all of this got so turbulent, and what they had to do and tried to do to make this the best for all of us. And that opened my eyes a lot.
We're going to take a quick break. Lucas is going to stay with us. So my conversation with him on a number of things, including, you know, he talked about age, and when you do this as long as he has, motivation, how much has it changed, 20s, 30s, 40s. Great to have him with us. Great to have you with us here live from Quail Hollow. We continue here at Golf Channel and PGA Tour Radio right after this. Welcome back, live here from Quail Hollow. Club Truist Championship starts tomorrow. Of course, all the coverage, not only Golf Channel, but PGA Tour Radio, where you have us. We're not done at 8 o'clock. We've got another hour until 9. Always great to have a conversation with Lucas Glover, who has won here. It was 15 years ago. 15 years ago, and again, great memories, so many wonderful friends here. A couple other things, because of what is happening over there, on LIV, a lot of people going, what effect is it going to have over here? The member return program has been executed. It's been put in motion by Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed. Different pathway. I think because of the divestment of the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia, that's now top of mind for a lot of people. I'm curious for you, Brooks Koepka and Patrick Reed. The idea is, and I think this is real, it was their choice, where it wasn't, okay, we're now in this precarious place, I got to find a safe landing place. Do you view that differently? Players who now may be coming back or may want to come back, whether it be next year or in the following years, differently than those two who were in a place where it appeared more security than maybe some guys who stayed.
Yeah, I said this last week when a lot of this news broke, but that there's always been a pathway back. It's just a matter of where you fell in the hierarchy, depending on your status or what you've won or where you stood on the tour when you left. That being said, those guys took advantage of their ways back, and there were penalties or suspensions or whatever that may be. And from the tour perspective, they violated the tour's contract, or however you want to view that. So there's always been ways back. It's just a matter of them being used and executed, and I got a feeling they will be more going forward. Patrick bet on himself and deserves to be back. He played his way back in, and that's great. Brooks wanted to come back, did what he had to under the guidelines, and he's back. I think it's great. They did what they had to do to get here, and now they're back, and that's great for the tour. I mean, they're huge names, major winners, multi-major winners, and known commodities. So it's good for the PGA Tour.
Well, somebody gave me advice years ago about, when you leave a job, if you do, don't throw toys on the way out, because you never know when that could be something that people will remind you of. Do you view players, whether they were part of litigation or not, in terms of how many obstacles or how arduous that obstacle might be to find their way back? Does that factor for you?
Well, first of all, that stuff's way above my pay grade. Second of all, I said this last week too. I got kind of bombarded at the Cadillac Championship just because I was a little green.
Because you don't do your radio show anymore.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. I was somewhat prepared, but the answer's still the same. Human beings are human beings. I'm not going to judge someone for a decision they made to further their career or do what they thought was right. But I live under this umbrella of the PGA Tour, and what they decide are the penalties or punishments or suspensions for guys that decided to go elsewhere. That's not up to me. But I try to treat everybody the same no matter what, and that's with respect. And I'm not going to begrudge anyone for doing something they felt was right or what they wanted to do for their career.
The motivation for you, what was the primary motivation for you in your 20s? And then did it change in your 30s? And is it now different in your 40s?
The motivation's the same. I like to compete and get that feeling on Sunday coming down the stretch when you're in the hunt, and it's the same. I hadn't played very well this year, and standing on 18T last week in the best shape I was in all year so far, and that's a very difficult tee shot for me because I can't carry the water on the left, and that fairway looks like a cart path for guys that don't hit it, can't carry it at 300. And I hit the best drive of the week there, and it felt good. And I actually said something to Tom, my caddy. I said, I hadn't had that feeling in a while. That was fun. Needed a good shot and a good second shot, and 4 there's a nice way to finish a round and finish a week. But that's the feeling. That's why I play, and motivation's the same. The practice can't be as long anymore, and spend a little more time on the physio table and the putting green. But I still love it. I still love to compete, and I've always said when I don't like to go practice and love to play and compete, then I'll hang them up.
A couple of years ago, you were kind enough to spend some time at a small house with us on the 15th hole, and I was asking you about bridging your 40s to being fully exempt until you're 50 years of age. and whether it's more inspiration than motivation, do guys like Adam Scott and Justin Rose, do you find inspiration in them?
Absolutely. We're all within a few months' age of each other, and we've all had different careers and different timings in our career, and but we've all kind of had this resurgence the last couple of years, and I'll predict Adam winning soon. Just going to get that on the record. I think because we're kind of the last ones in our age group right now, that I think whether we admit it to each other or not, we kind of draw off each other a little bit.
Sure.
Adam had an unfortunate situation Thursday last week with the ball, and came back, finished third, I think. And Rosie's top 7 or 8 in the world, just playing unbelievable. I'd like to say 3 years ago when I went on my little run, they might have been paying attention, and I'm sure paying attention to what they do. And it is motivating because it just tells me that it's still possible, and I hope I've did the same for them.
I appreciate the time always, and you're not going to work until this afternoon. Thank you. You and I will talk about the 20 and 11 Yankees in the off-air show during the break. Thank you.
Deal. Thanks, Gary.
All right, that is Lucas Glover.